still figuring this out. It says live, but is it live? Hello? How do you tell if it's working? Hello? Oh, there it is. Now I'm live. I gotta watch one of these again sometime. I feel like every time I start one of these live anythings, I spend like the first 20 seconds asking myself if it's live or not. I wish I could do this with my computer so I didn't have to hold it. So God, I already forgot what I wanted to talk about. No, the Women's March today. Yeah, I went to the Women's March in LA today, and this was something that I wanted to live stream earlier, but there was no broadband, I guess, because there were so many people there, and I had I didn't even have any internet reception, so I couldn't do it, and I just reminded myself that I was going to do it later on today. So here it is. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We went with a group of friends, and I was going to meet up with another group of friends, but that wasn't going to happen because I think it was way busier than anyone had anticipated. It took us like 2 hours just to get into the train station and on one of the trains in North Hollywood before we could make our way down, like very, very slowly, to Pershing Square Station in downtown LA where the event was being held. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see so many people out and about, to see, I mean, the transit system being used in LA is kind of a big deal too. So that was really neat. And yeah, and then finally, like, seeing this Women March happening, and if you don't know anything about it, which I would be very surprised because it was everywhere, but this wasn't a protest. This was a march in support of women, in that women's rights are humans' rights, because they are exactly that. They're human, and they also have a history of being oppressed and treated like second-class citizens. So it was more about just that. It was about giving people a voice who otherwise wouldn't have one, helping people who are at a disadvantage, or who might just need a little extra help. And that's what the whole event was about. And I read somewhere online, and they estimated that like 750,000 people came out just for the LA one, and these happened all over the world, so it was really cool. You know, it's just about being aware and noticing when someone else has to jump 5 feet when you only need to jump 1 to achieve the same thing, you know, and then giving them a hand. You know, and as I'm walking through this crowd of thousands of people and seeing all these signs and, you know, people caring about things, like just people caring about things is something so cool, and caring about others, it was nice. And I think the one thing that I started thinking was about, I mean, humans in general, but if humans had one superpower, like if this was a video game and we had like a racial ability, it would be our ability to adapt and learn. Like that's what we're good at. Right, that's we might forget it sometimes, but that's our advantage over every other creature. That's why we're the dominant species, is because we have the ability to learn and adapt, right? So let's say I want to get good at guitar. Well, I got to pick up that guitar, and I got to play it and practice it. You know, not just once, but a lot until I get good at it. And that's it. We work and practice the things we want to improve on, and our track record is pretty damn good with that. You know, like, I don't know how long humans have dreamt of flight, but eventually someone figured out how to make an airplane, and then we thought it'd be cool if we could, go higher and faster. And so we worked on airplanes for a while. We got them flying higher and faster, and then rockets came into the mix, and then we landed on the moon, and then we went to Mars, and who knows? They've gone pretty far. So whatever it is, we can work at it, and that applies to literally everything. I don't like the word tolerant, because if you have to tolerate something, you're attacking a symptom and not the root of the problem. But empathy and understanding for someone whose background and interests and that might differ from your own. Someone who has their own struggles. That's something that we can all work on. And we can practice at it until we get good at it, and then get better at it. Not just as individuals, but as a society, starting with our own communities. We can work at that. We can work at hearing each other out with an open mind and an open heart, without judgment, just listening, even when we disagree, and, just hope for a chance that someday we're going to be heard in that exact same way. Yeah, I think in that way the world becomes a less hateful place through open and honest communication. And, then in the same way that flying started, probably with people jumping off of hills and cliffs with feathers taped to their arms, if we as a society make a point to start empathizing with each other right now, and practice and work at it, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what that'll look like when our collective empathy gets off the ground and finally lands on the moon. And I think, that's it. I saw a lot of that happening today, between thousands and thousands of people, and it made me really happy, so I wanted to share. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, hope everyone had a good day, and a good night. I'm going to... That's it. That's all I want to say. So, good night, everyone.